Here, one of my exhibits. It's from back in the day. I got it appraised. It's pretty expensive. I'm gonna give it to my grandson. Yeah, I know you hear my wee in the background. That's me. I'm getting up and playing around, getting it together. But yeah, this is something they don't talk about in the news, and it's not cool. You know, we are all supermen and superwomen throughout all my videos. And oh, by the way, I am going to say it. You ain't gonna like it, but that's cool. That's why you watch these channels. Watch my channel because you know I'm gonna say something that you ain't gonna like, but I told you so. I ain't one of them that say, what, are you gonna say you told me so? No, I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say I told you so. Why? Because people even though they know the truth, don't like to listen. You know what I mean? And my new job that I started talks about, you have to do the Reliance training, and it talks about communication, and that communicating is a very, after all these years of me, learning a lot of things, I'm still learning. But anyway, what it was saying is that communication is probably listening with communication is probably the single most difficult things for human beings to do, because there's a cluster. It was talking about a cluster of communication apparatuses that need to be achieved so that people can communicate more effectively. And the cluster is, listening effectively, giving feedback, understanding people's body language. You see what I'm saying? How they look, mad, these kind of things. And last but not least, making sure that understanding is the goal, that everybody understands one another. We all come from different upbringings and different cultural norms and different states of mind when it comes to talking to our family members and talking to our friends. So it's even more important now that we listen to one another. And I'm not talking about them fools and them evil horde mongers that stormed the Capitol. You ain't gonna be able to talk to them. Like I said in my other videos, you ain't gonna be able to bargain with hate. But like I said before also, is that they're a small minority. They're a small minority when it comes to our society, when it comes to us. Right? That's the truth. And here's something else too. Learn to watch channels like this and to listen to people like this and not the news. Because when they talk, even now, and I told them, and I stand by this, stop giving Trump, airtime. They took him off of social media. Businesses is backing off. Everybody is trying to say, you know what? All right, we effed up. But we have a chance to make it right. And see, they're not going to know what to do with themselves when they're talking to administration, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all of the people that have been in government for a while and know how to make it run smoothly. They're not going to be able to, the media is not going to be able to handle that. They're so used to all this noise and jumping up and down and everybody and Trump and these kind of things. And the news is not going to be watched on that level anymore. And well, it should not. And well, you should not forget these times. Yes, we need to stop that loudness and boom, bang and everything else. But we also can't forget that our democracy, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of people say it, is not only fragile, but I will be in the lead saying this, like I've always said, that democracy is a thinking man's government. It does not work if we are all not allowing ourselves to be reasonable, allowing ourselves to follow the rules of law. We have to think our way forward as a democracy. It's easy, like I've said before, for a dictator to come in and smooth off all our problems. But what happens when, that dictator goes awry, or their thinking doesn't correspond with how we're changing, how we're seeing things? Because of a democracy, because of a thinking man's government, it lays the groundwork for all of that. It lays the groundwork for change. I don't need anybody to tell me how to live singularly. I need somebody who understands how we must live collectively. Right? How we understand our differences. We're going to be a nation divided in a lot of different ways. Always. Because we're a melting pot, right? We're a conglomerate of different thoughts, different feelings, different socio and economic upbringings. And at the same time, we do have a common purpose. And that is that we can try to bring everybody up to a place where the only thing they should need to worry about is what I can accomplish within myself. I shouldn't have to worry about feeding my family. I shouldn't have to worry about the people who I put in charge of keeping the peace, the white blood cells. I shouldn't have to worry about those white blood cells macrophaging me because of the way I look. They should be doing that on my actions, what I do. I shouldn't have to worry about, the old folks in my society being taken care of. See, these are the kind of things that a democracy can do without being a socialist. Being a socialist civilization. We shouldn't have to worry about that. We can do it in a democracy. We could do it in a lot of people with different thinking. And I'm not talking about, okay, what about those guys in Congress? The Republicans, 100 and something that's still... Look, man, as I've said before, they're not going to change. They're not going to change that. That has to die out. And it's already doing so. And that's why they're like the way they are. Because they know that's dying out. In 2 years, they know they're not going to have a prayer because the demographic is going to be changing even more. Because there's going to be more people getting more, right? After Biden handles the pandemic and everything else, there's going to be more people of color, more people that look, even on a default level. Heck, say for instance they don't do it on a mass scale. In 2 years at least, the minimum wage is at 15. If companies are saying, you know what, we're going to give everybody 15 anyway. You know what I mean? Or we're going to give everybody 10 or 12. That's going to change how people are living. And by that time, we're going to be like, you know what? I remember how it was under Trump. I ain't trying to go back to none of that. And here's the thing. We're going to pick off some of those knuckleheads that stormed the Capitol that got away with it. They're going to be hiding and, covering themselves up and everything else. And they're going to deny like Christ's disciples denied him. They're going to be denying Trump. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to go out and they're going to vote for a better life. because they're going to be able to step back and look at what happened. Not the diehard ones. I'm talking about the ones that are like was on the fence. You know what I mean? That went out there in the heat of the moment. Went out there in that crowd mentality. We already know about the psychology of crowd mentality. Hey, if everybody's running from somewhere, I'm gonna run too, right? Those kind of people are gonna be like, you know what? I am living a little bit better. Yeah, that $1,400 is doing a little. Hey, that employment boost. That minimum wage unemployment boost minimum wage employment boost. Yeah, that's looking good. I ain't gonna rock this, boo. By the time 4 years come around, Trump what? Trump who? Huh. Not on this channel. See you next time. Superman, Supergirl.